Hey, vinyl community, welcome back. This is Hub Tunes. This is it. This is the final episode of Rock and Roll High School. We're graduating, we're moving on, we're done. Maybe I'll do college after this. I did go to college for a few years, but I didn't listen. Well, anyway. Yeah, Rock and Roll High School, this is it. This is going to be the final episode. Mostly because I screwed up when I started this. I should have wrote down which records I was showing in each video. I didn't do that. And I am afraid I'm going to start repeating showing stuff, which is fine, I guess, but I don't know. I don't want to do that to you guys. So this is going to be it. And I don't think this one might be a repeat. I don't know. But let's do it. So basically, I just pulled 5 records from my high school years. Usually it's junior high a little bit, up to my graduation. I graduated in 85. And so from like 82 to 85, we're doing 81 to, So, and it's been fun. I've really had a good time doing this. Pulling out records that I really haven't listened to for a very long time. And a lot of this stuff, I don't know why I keep it. Like this first record, I don't know why I keep it. I'm never going to listen to this. But it's, it's my original from high school. I have almost all of these. Actually, all of these are my originals that I bought at the record store. Rose Records up in Deerfield, Illinois. And Flipside Records in the mall. And there were a couple others. But yeah, this is it's been a fun series. So, but sad to see it go, but I screwed up. I should have written down. It's my fault. So this first one was a huge record when I was in, I guess this would have been junior high. I was probably in junior high when this came out. What is this, 82? This is, oh boy. This is 1980. Okay, so I was in junior high, but I was very young when this came out, and I remember school dances. School dances, every single month we had a school dance. Whether it was like turnabout or sock hop, or there was always something to keep us entertained in our upper middle class society. And we would go to these school dances all the time. And I actually, anything to get out of the house at that age, I was pretty excited about. But on with the album. This is REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity. This album was massive, absolutely massive. It came out like right around the same year as like Journey's Escape, and probably like Jay Giles' band Freeze Frame came out. Foreigner 4. It was all like right in that era. 80, 81, 80, yeah, 80, 81. But this album, this thing was everywhere. You couldn't listen to the radio and not hear almost every song on this record. I don't know how many singles. We'll figure that out. But Don't Let 'Em Go opens it. It's a good opener. But then the big hit was Keep On Loving You. Jesus Christ, that song was everywhere. It's an awful song too. I really did not like that song at the time. I still don't like it. Follow My Heart, that might have been a single. In Your Letter, that was a big song too. Take It On the Run was definitely a single. That song I kind of like. Really good song, actually. Probably the best song on the record. Tough Guys was awful. Out of Season, I don't remember that. Shaking It Loose, I kind of dug that. And then and then it gets kind of cheesy towards the end. But this album was huge. Absolutely huge. So definitely their biggest album. I think the next year, what was the next year? They released a terrible album. What was the name? It had the Maid on the cover, like vacuuming, and I think they had like one single on it, and it didn't even like make the top 10. This thing had like at least three singles in the top 10, and Keep On Loving You might have gone to number 1. I mean, that song was huge. And then they kind of fizzled after that, and I remember Gary Richrath, the original guitarist, he left the band, and I think he has since passed away. He was a really good guitarist, especially in the early years on, like you can't tune a fish, but and yeah, he was a really good guitarist back then. But yeah, he left the band shortly after this, maybe, I don't know, a couple records after this. But yeah, I'll never play this. Should I just put it in a bin and sell it? I don't know, but I keep it. This is another great record. This is 19... What is this? This is later than 80. This is an 80. This is probably 83, I would say. God, you can never find anything when you want to. Yeah, I don't see where it says what year. But anyway, it was a high school year, and a lot of people think of this band as kind of a, well, they are kind of a one-hit wonder. But people kind of poo-poo them and they've never heard their records, obviously, because when this came out, I was drawn to the single, and it was all over the radio. Couldn't get enough of it, but I bought the whole record, and it's a great record. The whole thing is really good, and that's Wall of Voodoo. Call of the West, and this is the one that had Mexican radio on it, and it's a decent record, man. It's really, really good. 82. Wow, I was thinking it was 83 or 84. But yeah, this is the one with Mexican radio on it. Mexican radio was all over the radio and all over MTV. There was a video for it, I remember, that was real popular. And it's a really good record. It's punky new wave. Stan Ridgway, the lead singer, you either hate his voice or you love his voice. He's done some really good stuff solo. His solo records are solid records. If you see them, grab them, because they're not cheap. If you see a cheap one, grab it, because they're not cheap usually. But this opens with... I was just actually listening to this the other day because I knew I was going to do this video. The song Tomorrow opens it, and it's a really good song. Lost Weekend is the next song, and that's a kick-ass song. That's probably my favorite song on the record, is Lost Weekend. It's a 5-minute song. And then the next song, Factory, is another 5.5-minute song. Really good song. Look at Their Way, and Hands of Love close out side 1. Solid song. Side 1 is really good. And then side 2 opens with Mexican radio. And it just gets the whole side pumping. Spy World is excellent. They Don't Want Me is a really good song. And then it ends it with the title track, Call of the West. 6-minute song. This is punky, post-pop. Like I said, you gotta love his voice. If you don't love Stan Ridgway's voice, you're not gonna like them. But people need to do a deeper dive into Wall of Voodoo. Where is it? Wall of Voodoo. Definitely do a deeper dive. They were really a cool band. I don't know how many records they made, maybe 3 or 4. And then it was over, and he would go solo. And like I said, did some really solid solo records for a bit. Next up, well, I said in other videos, we have a bonus. I'm doing 6. I usually do 5. Oh well, no big deal. It's the final episode. I've said in other videos I was a metalhead, but I was old school metal. Like, as soon as like hair punk or hair metal came along, I was off the boat. I didn't like Dokken or Poison or Cinderella or any of that bullshit. I was Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Judas Priest, Scorpions, Van Halen, until Sammy took over. And yeah, that was my metal. Iron Maiden even in there. But this was a great record, and that is British Steel, Judas Priest. This isn't my favorite. Yeah, it might be my favorite Judas Priest album, although Screaming for Vengeance is probably just as good. I love that song, Electric Eye. That's another one. I probably should have pulled that one instead, because that was more of my high school. This was not my high school. I listened to this like crazy in high school, but Screaming for Vengeance came out in probably 82. So, and that was a bit with You Got Another Thing Coming and Electric Eye, and it was a really good record. I should have pulled that instead, since it did actually come out. I was not in high school, and when did this come out? 78, 79? But what a great album. Also, look at all the water damage on my record. I don't have a lot of records with water damage. I don't know how this happened, but still have it. Obviously, Rob Halford, Glenn Tipton, KK Downing, Dave Holland on drums, and Ian Hill, the classic lineup. Just a great record. I'll go through a few of the songs. Living After Midnight is my favorite Judas Priest song. I just love it. That guitar riff. You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise is great. Steeler. Excellent record, man. God, I should play this. This thing is in great shape for so much water damage. I never realized this was in such good condition. Breaking the Law opens the second side. What a freaking great song. Breaking the Law. Grinder is great. Metal is great. United. I don't remember that song. Metal Gods. I'm sorry. This is man, I'm going to play this. I haven't played this. And I bet I haven't played this record in 20 years. Easily. Oh, maybe. No, you know what? Maybe I have played it since, because I actually did go see them I saw them about 10 years ago live. They were playing at a very nice theater in Rosemont, Illinois, and it just didn't have the gritty Judas Priest vibe live that I wanted. The place was carpeted, and they had like ushers walking all that, and you couldn't drink in the place, and you couldn't smoke, you couldn't do anything. And Judas Priest comes out, and it's not the classic lineup anymore. I mean, I think KK's gone, and there were still a couple of guys in the band, but obviously Rob Halford's the whole show, and his voice sounded great. I mean, it sounded really good. I don't know how old he was 10 years ago, but not a young man anymore. But man, that motherfucker, he did more costume changes than Cher. In between every song, he came out in a new outfit. And, I love Rob, but it got a little tiring. And man, the bedazzled leather was just crazy. But it was a good show. Definitely, they're just about done. I don't even know if they still tour, but that was about 8-10 years ago. Yeah, it was probably 10. Yeah, it was definitely 10 years ago. But awesome record. This is another record that I still love this. I love this artist. This artist is great. And this album is so freaking cool. And it's just so different and unique. And that's Joe Jackson's Night and Day. This is probably 82, right? Man, I'm going back today. This has got to be 82. 82. And what an incredible album. I loved his album, I'm the Man. But I didn't know that until I had heard this. I heard Steppin' Out. I was like, man, that is a groovy ass song. And it was so different. It was different, it was unique, and I gravitated towards it. And then I bought the album, and I saw the album cover, and I'm getting messages, sorry folks. Well, you can't see them. Oh my God, I'm getting so many messages. The album artwork kind of just drew me in. I saw this on the record shelf, and I grabbed it immediately. And I really, really dig it. And I thought the inside photos, that's the inner sleeve photo, I thought he just looked like such a cool dude, and I just wanted to know him. And this is a perfect album. This thing is great all the way through. It opens with Another World, which is what is this music? It's jazzy, but it's new wave, but it's still got a little rock and roll to it. It's just the perfect Joe Jackson record. It really, really is. I love Another World. Chinatown, that was a kick-ass song. TVH, Target, Steppin' Out opens the second side. The ballad, Breaking Us in Two. Yeah, okay. It's a little soft rock, little middle of the road. But then he goes with the song Cancer, which is hugely depressing. Real Men, and then a slow song at the end. And that's the name of it. It's a slow song. But man, it's a great record. It's a perfect record in my book. I just totally love this thing, and it still holds up today. I think Impex, or maybe Impex did somebody did an audiophile version of this. This sounds great. It was recorded really, really well. I would like to get I would like to upgrade this copy. It sounds, like I said, it sounds good. I don't need it, but I would like to get maybe a little nicer audiophile. I don't want it on 45. I'm done with 45, but yeah, I'd like to upgrade that. This album, well, this is my favorite band from the 80s. Yeah, probably my favorite band of the 80s. And I dug the album before this, and the word coming around that this album, their new album was coming out. I couldn't wait. I was so excited. I remember how excited I was. I rode my bike to the record store on Tuesday when it came out, because records used to come out on Tuesdays back then. Now it's what, Fridays? I think it's Fridays. But back then it was Tuesdays, and I would ride my bike all the way to the record store after school and buy whatever I could with my lawn cutting money or my snow shoveling money. And yeah, I was so excited. I bought this the day it came out, and it lived up to expectations. It's probably their biggest selling record, and that's the Psychedelic Furs, Forever Now. Jeez, this is another perfect album, maybe. It's not my favorite Furs record. I go between the debut and Talk Talk Talk. Those might be my favorite over this, just because a lot of this got played when I was like, over and over and over again. I know I need to let that go, but I kind of have. This is a great record. Forever Now was a hit. Love My Way. Only You and I. Sleep Comes Down. I love that song. Opens the second side with President Gas. One of my favorite Furs songs. Run and Run is great. Danger. No Easy Street. And Yes, I Do. This is a great record, man. Produced by Todd Rundgren. I had forgotten that. Yeah, engineered by Todd Rundgren, too. Nice. What year was this? 82. Wow. Oh, do you think there's a chance this next record came out in 82? Okay, this is the bonus. So I'm doing 6. I usually do 5. This is this band's last great record. Great record. They've made a couple after that are okay. They've also made some that are absolutely horrible after this. But this, I think, is their last great album. And I dug it when it came out. I was a big fan of this band. Not anymore. And that's Genesis, Abacab. The title track is freaking great, man. That sound that they get, it's a great album. Great song. No Reply at All was the first single. Kind of your typical MOR Genesis Phil Collins song. But it was one of the first. I mean, there would be many middle-of-the-road Genesis songs to come after that. But that was kind of the first. Well, Follow You, Follow Me kind of was too, wasn't it? Me and Sarah Jane, I always dug that. That was I think Me and Sarah Jane was the B-side to No Reply at All or Abacab. I'm not sure. And then the great song, Keep It Dark. I love that song, man. That was a great song. That closes out side 1. Side 2, Dodo opens it with Lurker. The instrumental there. Who Done It was a kind of a waste of a time. Man on the Corner. I dug that song. That's a great song. Like It or Not was excellent. The Mike Rutherford song. I don't think he does vocals. Maybe he does do vocals on that. I'm not sure. And then another record would close it out. And I think it's great. I think it's so great. I bought all the color variants of this record. That's what we do. Yeah, they're definitely their last great record. I'm much more of a fan of the Peter Gabriel stuff. Give Me Trespass or Nursery Crime. Nursery Crime's my favorite Genesis record. But you got to be in the mood for stuff like that. And I get why people probably look back on the proggy Peter Gabriel Genesis stuff and what? People who have never heard Genesis, I can't imagine like putting on like Nursery Crime and like playing it for them and just seeing the look on their face. Maybe I'll do that this weekend to some friends. Anyway, that's it. Rock and Roll High School. It's over. I'm sorry. I should have been better. I definitely should have made a list of all the records I'm showing. But maybe I'll pull it back. Maybe I'll do college. We'll see. I didn't listen to a lot of music. Well, I listened to a lot of music in college, but because I was so poor, I wasn't buying records. And by the time I got to college, CDs were all the rage, and we were burning each other's CDs, and loaning them out, and I had a lot of cassettes in college, a lot of Grateful Dead bootlegs, stuff like that. So I was definitely not buying music. It was it was mostly listening to older stuff, and being poor, college student. So anyway, you guys, everyone stay safe. Questions, comments, snide remarks down below in the comment section, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.